Hi, everybody, and welcome back to week 7 of our conversation course. This week's topic is hospitality, and my guest this week is Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen.
Hi, Jenna. Greetings.
Nice to see you. So hospitality, it's a little bit of a tricky word to define, but I guess one part of it would be having guests in your home or basically taking something that's yours and offering it to someone else. And that can be lots of different things. In your understanding of what it means to be hospitable in this culture, does a host have specific responsibilities? And then does a guest have specific responsibilities?
Oh, no, that's a good question. Well, the United States is a very big country. And I think in the Northeast, where we live, generally people let you know when they're coming. But other parts of the country, people just drop in. They just stop by. And then you welcome them in. But in where we live, generally, you know that someone is coming, and then you might prepare something for them. You might have coffee or tea or a meal, or have a bedroom ready for them to sleep overnight.
So have you lived in different parts of the country where people might just kind of drop in, as you said, show up unexpectedly?
Well, I am from Ohio, which is the Midwest part of our country, and I think people are a little more casual there, not as formal as New England. But I know that I prefer a little bit of notice. I want to know if someone is coming over so I can run around and do a little cleaning and make sure everything's ready to go, and then I can relax and be really present with the guest. Otherwise, I'm worrying, and I don't want to worry. I just want to enjoy the company.
Yeah. So would you say that one of the host's responsibilities is to have kind of a clean home, or do you like to have a clean home when you have guests at your house?
That's what I prefer. Now, different people have different preferences, but I generally like to feel comfortable and that it's a friendly place for people to come and visit, because that's what it's all about, is visiting. Sometimes people will say, oh, don't worry, it doesn't matter what your house looks like, but I like to do that. It's my standard.
Yeah. So it's kind of a strange time for hospitality because most people are not having a lot of people in their homes right now because of the safety issues. But normally speaking, before COVID, would you have guests in your home often or more rarely, do you think?
Well, we have some friends that we enjoy having over, and and our friends like to have us at their house. So we do pretty regularly get together with others. Some family we don't see very often, but for holidays are a family time. So people might come from away, travel, need a place to stay. So that's another opportunity to be hospitable, to share hospitality.
Yeah. I was thinking about this as I was preparing these questions of, do you think that the relationship between a host and a guest is different when they're visiting maybe just for the day or for dinner versus if you are, kind of a house guest? I guess we would say that that usually means that you're staying overnight or staying for a few days. Do you think that that relationship is a little bit different, or what the responsibilities of each person are different in that circumstance?
I think so. Yes, I agree with you.
I'd say that for most, at least in most situations where we're hosting that I can think of in America, if your guest is coming over for a short period of time, you usually tell them, oh, no need to help with cleaning up after dinner. And oh, no, you don't need to do this or that. And you can just be our guest and we'll entertain you and do everything for you. But that can actually be a little bit awkward for the guest too. If they're there for a long period of time, then they feel a little bit odd about not being able to do the normal chores that they're used to doing for the time that they're staying with you. So I don't know if you've ever felt that before.
I agree, Jenna. Sometimes I know I like to be busy. I like to
Hmm.
feel useful. So if I'm preparing a meal, I might say to someone who's there with me, would you please help make the salad, or would you do something just to help them feel comfortable?
Hmm.
And I know that helps me, and it helps the other person sometimes. One thing that I've tried to teach my sons, I have two older sons, is that when you're a guest in someone's home, it's polite to bring a house gift to the host or hostess. So you might
Mm-hmm.
bring some food, or you might bring some flowers, or just something to show that you care and you're grateful to be there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, usually I would say if you're going to someone's home for a dinner or something or a party, often a guest will ask, "Oh, is there anything I can bring? Do you need me to pick up some bread or some wine or some ice for the drinks or something like that?" Is a very common thing. And sometimes the host will say, "Oh, no, no, don't bring anything." In which case, most people I know will bring flowers or a small gift.
Right, exactly. It's better to not be empty handed.
Right, right.
Right.
And I find if I'm a guest in someone's home for a longer period of time, like if I am staying overnight or especially staying a couple of nights somewhere, I always think it's nice to leave a thank you note or a small gift for the host or hostess to say, maybe it's not required, but thank you so much for opening your home, we might say, and letting me stay here for a little bit of time. So I think that can be a nice thing to do too, or maybe send a thank you card after the fact to them. I think also different homes have different kind of house rules that it's always good to maybe know about or to communicate to your guests when they come. So, for example, I don't know about your home, but in a lot of homes, everybody takes off their shoes when they walk in the door, and in some homes, they don't necessarily do that. And so, I think it's kind of mixed in this part of the country, who does and who doesn't do that. So, I think most people usually ask when they walk in the door here, "Oh, should I take my shoes off?" I don't know. Has that been your experience?
That has, and especially because we live in New England, where
Mm-hmm.
you might be coming into the room with dirty feet or wet
Mm-hmm.
feet or
Right.
snow or ice or salt on your shoes. We have a tray that our shoes are on, and many times guests will ask, "Oh, is this where I should put my shoes?" And we say, "Oh, only if you're comfortable."
So I don't know, is there any other etiquette you can think of besides maybe taking off your shoes or maybe bringing a hostess or host gift to someone's home, that you should consider if you're going to someone's home?
Well, because people will come in from the cold,
Mm,
sometimes a common question is to say, "What should I do with my coat?" Or
mm.
"Where should I put my wet umbrella?"
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Usually, so some people have a very obvious place to hang your coat right when you walk in the front door, but other
Right,
people don't. Or if they do, it's already covered with other people's coats and shoes of people who live there. So a
right.
common phrase that you'll hear if you go to somebody's house is, "Oh, can I take your coat?" And they don't mean
Mhm.
that they're going to, take it forever or steal it, but they just mean, "Oh, I'll put that somewhere for you and give
Right,
it back to you when it's time to go."
right. That's true. And if it's for a party, for a
Mm,
large group,
hmm.
someone might actually take your coat and put it in a bedroom upstairs. And then
Hmm.
when you're ready to go, you need to find the host and say, "Excuse me, I need to leave. May I have my coat now, please?" And she or he
Hmm.
will get it for you.
When you go to someone's home, often the host will say, "Oh, can I get you anything?" And often they mean, "Can I get you anything to drink or to eat, if you're hungry or thirsty?" And I think most hosts, if they ask that question, they might have something in mind of something they've either prepared or that they have. And I don't think it's impolite at all to say, "Sure, I'd love a glass of water," or if you have some tea or coffee, that would be nice. So
Right.
yeah.
I try to give people choices. Would you like
Mm-hmm.
some water or some juice or some wine? Or because not everybody drinks alcohol, so I'd like to
Or
have
caffeine.
choices that are right or that are no alcohol and alcohol, so that everybody feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're serving somebody tea or coffee, usually the other question is, oh, what would you like with that? Or how do you take your tea or coffee? Which is to say, do you want milk or cream or sugar in it or on the side with it? Because those things are different from person to person a lot of the time. So we have what's probably a very big hospitality day in America coming up very soon, which is Thanksgiving. So things might be a little bit different this year for a lot of people, but normally, what does it mean in your house to show hospitality on Thanksgiving? Who usually comes and what do you prepare and what kinds of things do you like to do on that day?
Well, it is a big event to gather people together. So the relatives will often come to our house, or we will go to their house. And generally, people will bring food, but the person that is hosting the event usually makes the turkey, which is the main course of the meal, and
Mhm.
other people might bring appetizers or salads or favorite vegetables, and then dessert. Lots of pie is the typical dessert for Thanksgiving. So we usually have, I would say, between 10 and 15 people in our home for Thanksgiving, but probably not this year. Probably
Mm,
not this year. It should be smaller so that it's safe for all of us.
yeah. Do you ever do any activities on Thanksgiving? I know some families like to ask, for example, what they might be thankful for, kind of the meaning of Thanksgiving, of giving thanks, right? Is that something you do in your house?
We do. We do. Usually, as we all sit down and we might say grace to begin our meal. And then we would generally go around in a circle and say what we are thankful for this year.
Well, I think with that, we will come to a close. So, thank you for talking to me today, Gretchen, about hospitality, this lovely topic, even if it's a little bit different these days. And thank you to everybody for watching. And I hope you have lots of great conversations about hospitality this week.